Hello and welcome to this week's LOL Esports Top 25 Power Rankings, where we're going to go over the top 25 teams. So I do this weekly, like I said. This week there are no minor region teams that reach the top 25. Algo's strongest team is 30th, which is Frank Esports from the PCS. In addition to that, Sengoku Gaming from Japan is 36th. Los Grandes from CBLOL are 49th. LJL Esports are 62nd from Latin America, and then Peace Gaming is 80th from the LCO. You may question, why is the LCO so low? There are only like 100 teams, not even anymore actually, like 97 maybe. Like, why is Peace so low? Well, the LCO didn't win a single game internationally last year. That's a problem. The team that represented them in summer went undefeated in summer and then didn't win a single game at Worlds. And then that team lost to Peace when Peace had to forfeit their first 5 games and literally played against Chief Esports Club this past week and won, mind you, without chairs. So, I think if that doesn't sum up where the LCO is right now, I don't know what will. So, that's why the top LCO team is 80th. Algorithm figures out all that minor region stuff. I don't watch them play. This week, only major regions ended up in the top 25, so that works out good for me. Speaking of that, actually, a team that dropped out was CFO, who was in there, the top PCS team going into last week. They are now, I think, the second best PCS team behind Frank right now. 2 other teams that are knocked out of the top 25 are Bro and TL. So CFO, Bro, and TL are all out of the top 25 from last week. 25th, let's just get right into this. 25th is BDS. BDS are 5-4. They played 1 game last week and are dropping 5 spots as a result. Or 3 spots, sorry. They lost to G2. And it was a 2-1, but G2 kind of trolled game 2, in my opinion. G2's had a tendency to do that this year. Actually, for a while, they utilized that second game as a scrim. You see some of the top teams do that and are willing to lose games in an attempt to try something. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Kind of like just throwing crap on a canvas and seeing if it looks like art or not. So, BDS... Adams looking good on some picks, but I still think Sheo off of Wukong is a little sus. And then Nuke is well, Nuke is not, I'm not super sold on him. 24th, not moving at all, is HLE. They are 4-4. They beat Bro, so that's what knocked Bro out. It was between HLE and Bro for me. And then lost to D+, which is not a surprise. If you're new to this, I really don't hurt teams. If you lose to teams I expect you to lose to, really. It depends on the manner in which you lose, but at the same time, yeah, HLE. Obviously, Klid's looking a little better, but then again, anything was better than the way he had been playing. So to see improvement, I guess, isn't asking for a lot out of him. 23rd is SK, dropping 4 spots. Similar to BDS, I don't really know which way to put them right now. We'll see how they do in the next round of games. They may end up dropping out of the top 25 altogether if they lose to Astralis and Heretics respectively. But, losing, I'm looking at the board here. I have all 25 teams written on the other board. Losing to Koi, I think Koi right now is the... So we'll get into it. I don't have Koi. Do I have... No, I don't have Koi as a top-ranked European team in the power rankings, but I will say Koi look like the best right now. Like I said, though, G2 do throw games from time to time, but Koi is looking like the rogue of last year, not only in the playoffs, but in the regular season as well, being solid, making things happen, winning when you expect them to win, and winning in a clean way. So, they're there. 22nd is EG, dropping 1 spot. We have a trifecta going right now with these power rankings. So EG lost to 100 Thieves, beat C9. Listen to Vulcan and Berserker talk after the series on Travis Gafford's channel, which I thought was interesting, having that duel. You know, they just had finished playing against each other, but talking about the matchup. And sounded like EG thought they had a really good grasp on it. And I feel like C9 has a lot more to improve on, which is why I have the teams ranked the way I do. I think I'm kind of projecting a bit on what giving C9 a little bit of a break, I guess. EG losing to 100 Thieves, though, is a thing because 100 Thieves weren't ranked last week, for one. And for two, I think EG and 100 Thieves are very similar in what I expect out of them this season. So, EG 22nd. 21st, new to the power rankings, are Thunder Talk. They are back. If you're new, Thunder Talk are my guilty pleasure. I said it in one of my predictions. It was like, you know, seeing them bring back Yao Yao was like, you know, I really wanted to hold my breath, and I'm still holding my breath. But they beat LGD. They were on a 4-game winning streak. They beat LGD, which they should have beat LGD. If they had lost, that'd been pretty bad. But beat Weibo this morning in a very convincing fashion through their weakest player in Hoya. So that is a big deal. TT, like, let's see if they can keep it going. Maybe they're going to end up in the power rankings all season long, just like they did in summer. Even though they didn't make the playoffs, they stayed in my top 25 because algorithm-wise, they look really, really good all the time. Like, they just play a really, really good brand of League of Legends that I enjoy watching. 20th is Vitality, dropping 9 spots. I think they're the biggest drop of the week. And I'll be honest, this is a little overdue. So, they're 6-3. They beat Heretics, lost to Koi. The manner in which they lost to Koi was ugly. It was really ugly. Their bot lane is bad. Their bot lane is extremely bad right now. Neon and Kaiser, and it's both of them. You know, we want to throw the blame on Neon. We want to throw the blame on Kaiser. I've been watching Yamato's co-streams. Yesterday, he was able to make a compilation montage of how much these two have inted this year. Bo is inting his face off. Photon's even getting tired of it and started inting yesterday. Perks is inted. Like, the whole entire team is inting right now. And this, like I said, this is overdue. Last week, they looked like dog and somehow won. Good job. You beat Heretics. Like, great. They weren't ranked. To me, that's a win they should have. So that's not a shock to me. But losing to Koi in the way they did, like, literally, Koi took the bot turret in game 1 in 9 minutes with Zeri Soraka. Vitality look like a mess. They look like a serious mess. 19th, new to the power rankings, are Koi. Speaking of the devil. Speaking of the devil themselves. New at 4-5. Beat SK, beat Vitality. Bot lane has figured it out. This meta, they've went from 13-1 to 13-1B. The Yumi is dropped out. And now they're able to pick things that work better for them, allowing Comp and Trimby to really express themselves. Malrank's playing exceptional in the jungle right now, getting ahead, not only getting ahead with getting his teammates ahead, but getting himself ahead. And that's a real surprise. So Koi are 19th, and honestly, I had them higher and had to adjust some things because I was like, nah, I can't move them too high. They're new to the power rankings, but they're looking very good. The last new team to the power rankings are 100 Thieves, and I'll say this is a little overdue as well. Algorithm-wise, actually, 100 Thieves, and the LPL is not included in my algorithm stats-wise, and this shows that I don't use stats for major regions. Going into last week, 100 Thieves were, I think, 9th in the power rankings in my algorithm without the LPL included, right? So we could assume like 4 or 5 LPL teams above them, and then they're like 13th, 14th. They would have been here. But I was like, I'm not sold on them. This past week, beating EG was a solid win. So that's good. FlyQuest loss, that's expected. FlyQuest are a lot better than them. So they move into 18th, and we'll see what happens from there. I don't know why. Well, I know why I did red. We know why I did it red. 100 Thieves are red, but they're supposed to be purple for the LCS. Otherwise, they look like an LPL team, and we know not only are they not nearly as good as an LPL team, but They don't play like an LPL team. They play slow and steady. 17th, C9, not moving at all. C9 beat TSM, solid win. Lost to EG, not great. But I'm projecting right now, I think Berserker and Sven are going to continue to get better. Fudge is going to find his way. And it's a matter of time before they put Eminez in mid lane. And once they do that, C9 should be set. Eminez is very, very, very good in Academy. Last I checked, 23 solo kills in like 15 games. So, like, extremely good. He should be starting probably. I mean, they committed to Diplex first. Diplex has to screw up. Maybe losing to EG will get that going. 16th is Mad Lions. Mad Lions moved down 2 spots. The win against Astralis is expected. If they didn't win against Astralis, I would have been shocked. I better be recording. Thank God. It would have been very late to do that. Mad Lions losing. Mad Lions beat Astralis. Expected. They lost 1 game to them, but I mean, Mad Lions looked pretty clean in game 3. And then against G2, they should have probably made that a 3-game series at worst. Struggling to close games out when they're in position to win in both. So, Matter 16th. I believe that they're better than 16th. Them and G2 are really, really close. So, I'm not surprised that, you know, things are transpiring the way they are for them. Right now, you know, nothing's really shocking me in this group stage. 15th, RNG. RNG moves up 3 spots. Angel started against Team Wheat, and that is huge. That is huge, because they'd been starting Tangwan left and right every series, and then they lose to JDG. They fire Heart, so now all that's left is Sin. So, you know, they get rid of Tabe, they get rid of Heart, now Sin's all that's left, and Angel starts against Wheat, and they win. And Wheat was no slouch. We are 3-3. They're not, you know, 0-6 like they were in summer. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think that RNG may start righting the ship here. We'll see how they do this upcoming week. As of right now, though, they're 15th. I did not drop them out, and I said last week they have to start Angel. If they don't start Angel this week, they're dropping out, and they did. So they are still alive in the power rankings. Top LEC team is G2 and 14th. At 7-2, they are moving up 1 spot. And I'm sorry, LEC fans, but I think you see what I see, and what I see is an absolute chaotic mess of just a bunch of shit, pretty much. So, G2, 7-2, beat BDS and Mad. The manner in which they beat Mad was not clean, like I said. It was not clean against BDS either. The Lilia is something interesting. We'll see how they do this upcoming week, and they should rise if they can just play the game the way they're supposed to. But G2 are kind of doing G2 things right now, and, you know, that is what it is, right? That is what it is. The Lilia is a very fun pick for them. Bot lane, Hansama's Draven. I mean, it looked good yesterday. I think Niski kind of hinted to give Hansama a kill that kind of got that game rolling. Hansama didn't earn that kill. So, that is what that is, but nevertheless, that's the top LEC team right now. You know, it's just, it's kind of a mess. It's kind of a mess. BLG 13th at 2-3. Dropping 8 spots, dropping like a stone. Lost to Wii, which is ugly. And at that point, I said to myself, maybe Team Wii can crack the top 25, but then they get smoked by RNG, and I thought better of that. Right now, they're grading out negatively based on some stats I can find. As far as the other series against EDG, BLG, I expected them to lose that one. So that's kind of a thing. That was a team around here, BLG around here. I think BLG, Bin, Jun, Yagao, Elk, and then On. I mean, On I can expect to not be very good. But the other 4 players are very talented. They're going to figure it out. Now, if they lose to anyone's Legend tomorrow, which I think is who they play, I don't think the rankings could go that far for where BLG will end up when it's all said and done. 12th is Sandbox, and Sandbox are doing very well. They moved up 1 spot. And not only that, Liv Sandbox have played exceptional League of Legends. They really have. Birdall this past week absolutely dominated DRX and Rascal with 3 solo kills in 1 game. They beat the Freaks. Sandbox are doing work, and I'm struggling to move them up, and this happened last year too, where I'm really holding my breath on Sandbox. I'm waiting for the balloon to pop. Because really, like, Closer has not looked that good. Willer has looked good. So Closer hasn't looked that great. Birdall is hit or miss. Willer is consistent. Bot lane's doing well. Cal is doing fantastic. But when I look at the teams above Sandbox, like looking at my board right now, I can only see one team that I would not take over Sandbox. And it's arguable. That's why they're above them. Otherwise, there are players on the other teams that I'm taking above Sandbox to the point where I can't move Sandbox up any farther yet until they beat like a really, really, really good team. And they have good wins. They're 6-2. They're about to be first right through the round robin. Like, they're doing well. It's just, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of just like I said, I'm holding my breath for when they kind of, when the floor falls out on them. 11th, LNG. LNG moving down 2 spots. I'm concerned. Beating OMG is good. Losing to NIP is a bad look. And the manner in which they lost to NIP was ugly. They have not played anybody good yet, really. And that's a problem because we have not, I have not really seen what they have going for them. Very good players, Tarzan and Scout and Zika. LP is still playing very, very good. And despite losing to NIP, LP has played good every game, every series pretty much. But, it's a better version of Anyone's Legend last summer. We remember Anyone's Legend and how they were, like, in the playoffs, like, I want to say, like, 7-3 or something. Like, their record was really good, and it's like they have not played anybody yet. Like, they still have, like, the top dogs. And then they would just started losing to everybody because they were not really that good. They were average. So, LNG needs to play somebody good. Losing to NIP is a problem because that may have been like one of the better teams they've played thus far, and NIP are not that good. 10th is EDG, 4-1. Speaking of NIP, EDG beat NIP. They're moving up 6 spots. Beat BLG as well. Very big win, like I said. You beat a team over here. You beat a team up here. Over here, you're moving up. I could argue probably moving them up even farther. The way they're playing right now, they may be playing the best brand of League of Legends out of anybody. Everybody's kind of losing games here or there, playing kind of dirty and sloppy. And I would say, like, you see a lot of people say sinning. But the thing is, like, they are just playing EDG are playing really clean. And a lot of teams are just playing dirty and winning. And I think you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's just a chaotic mess. And EDG just don't seem to be in that position. It's just like these players, like, we got to see Leave continue to take next step in the AD carry position. They're learning how to use Ale better, which is good. 9th is IG at 5-1. IG move up 3 spots. They beat FPX. That's a win they should have. Lost to Top today. Arguably could have lost all 3 games. So that's why I don't really move them up much farther. Honestly, if it wasn't for, like, how bad the LEC is looking right now, like, in terms of nobody playing very cleanly outside of Koi, and I wasn't going to put Koi way, way up there, it's tough. Like, no one's playing clean. Like, IG are not playing clean, and I do not like putting, maybe I could have swapped them. I think, yeah, IG beat EDG last week or the week before, so it's hard to really, like, subconsciously, it's hard to move them and swap them, but, like, IG are not playing super great. They're the team that when I talked about Sandbox, I would say maybe I would take Sandbox over them. Because we're going to find what IG is made out of. 5-2. Why did I say 5? No, they're 5-2 now. Or are they 5-1? It doesn't matter. Nevertheless, we're going to find out what they're made of with Wink having to go on Engage supports after playing Enchanters. People are saying Engage supports are easier, but the fact of the matter is, if he hasn't barely played them at all, we're starting at 0. We're not starting at, you know, I mean, he started at 0 with enchanters, but with engaged supports, he's still starting at 0. Maybe in summer he can figure it out, but is he going to figure it out in a month and a half? We'll see. So IG are 9th. Top Western team in 8th place is FlyQuest. They're not moving. If you're new, this column usually means Worlds contender, but I'm not delusional, so there's a line there. We're going to pretend that it's only 7 teams right now. Obviously, way too early for Worlds contenders. So let's just say MSI contenders. Flyers 6-0, beat EG, beat 100 Thieves. 2 teams that are towards the top. So they beat C9, EG, and 100 Thieves consecutively. I do not think they're going to go 18-0. They, on paper, should, but I think they're going to lose to somebody. It's just a matter of when, and I'm going to just ignore it because that's what what happens when people lose once and dominate in every other game. You're just like, well, that was an off day. Someone must have ate bad food the night before. Somebody had some issues, you know, having some personal things. Somebody didn't sleep right last night. Like, literally, if you lose a game, like, after looking like you should go undefeated, or, like, look really, really good for, like, 2 weeks, lose a game, look good for another week, it's like, clearly it was a bad day. It was not a condemnation on that team itself as a whole. You know, too often we see in the league community a lot of reactionary takes where, oh shit, something happened, oh my god, like, calm the hell down. You know, we're in week 3 of the LPL, or we're in week 4 of the LCK. Like, this is just whatever. This is spring. Like, sure, I react and I say these teams are looking good or bad, but at the same time, you know, some of these teams need a little bit of time. It's just a matter of just kind of like sitting and waiting. 7th is Weibo, dropping 1 spot. Before this morning, I had them 2nd on my power rankings last night. Losing to Thunder Talk 2-0 was ugly, especially the way the Shy has looked. He's 2-25 over the last 2 series. Yes, you heard me right. 2-25. I think he has literally, I would not be shocked if he has like half of the team's deaths. I wouldn't be shocked. Beat JDG, though. That's why they were going to be 2nd. JDG were 1st in my power rankings, and they beat them. But, you know, after losing to Thunder Talk, you kind of, you know, you take those reactionary glasses off that are tinted a bit, and you see, oh, they probably shouldn't have beaten JDG. And that's right. When you think about it, they shouldn't have. So, Weibo are 7th. I'll put this marker back. 6th are D+. D+ are 5-3. D+ are dropping 2 spots. So beat HLE. That's a win they should have. 2-0. Sound. Lost to KT, though, which is ugly. KT have been very hit or miss. No, actually, it's not ugly. But KT have been down here. We've been saying to ourselves, okay, KT is not at the level of T1, Gen G, D+, right? But now D+ have a couple losses in here. They lost to Gen G, I'm pretty sure, last week. And now they've lost to KT. So now it's starting to show, okay, they are 4th right now in the LCK. Which is a surprise. But at the same time, it is what it is. 5th is Top. 5th is Top. They're 5-1. They moved up 2 spots. Should have went 3-0 against IG today. Beat Ultra Prime, which is not a shock, so they're 5th, moving up 2 spots. They're 5-1. They're 1st in the LPL in record. Do I think they're the best LPL team? No, that's indicated by them being 5th. And there's still 1 Goliath left in the LPL to put on the board. But Top are still looking very good. The best teams are looking like the best teams right now in this column. 4th is KT. And then 3rd is Gen G. So let's do these both at once. So KT move up 6 spots. KT beat Gen G. KT beat D+. Gen G beat Nongshim, lost to KT. Why would I have Gen G above KT? KT have lost 3 series this year. And Gen G have lost 2. KT have been very inconsistent. So for me to say KT put together a good week would be an understatement. They put together probably the best week out of anybody this year, this board. Nobody beat 2 top 5 teams. So KT looked absolutely disgusting. And they put themselves back in the conversation of one of the top teams in the LCK. They, like I just said with D+, they moved from that second tier, 4th place clearly, into the top 3, and D+ dropped to 4th, and they're still in that group. The group has just, grown by 1. But they've lost to 3 teams that suck. So they have to beat teams that suck. If they can do that this week, now we're talking about next week them being higher than 4th, right? We're talking about them moving up because they may have finally put it together. Keen is playing exceptional. And then we get to Gen. Gen have an off day, like I just said. Some teams have off days. Gen G's first series, they lost to T1. T1 are better than them. I'm not shocked by that. Is it closer than I thought it was going to be right now? Yes. But at the time, I did think Gen G was worse than T1. I still think Gen G is slightly worse than T1. It was Pei's first series. Clearly, they had an agenda in that one, and it is what it is. But against KT, them losing, it is what it is. I think Gen G are still doing much better than anticipated. I did not expect them to be this good. Second, JDG, dropping 1 spot. All things equal, they lost to Weibo, right? Beat RNG 2-0. They should have beaten Weibo. They didn't do it. Ruler was not at his best in that one. 369 was playing very, very well. But unfortunately, they couldn't get it done. I think JDG still are going to be a MSI contender, which is what that column is, what that represents. It's just an off day. I really, can't really go much farther than that. Like, they blew game 3. They blew a lead. If I have a team, I want the team that's getting to 10K, it wasn't a 10K gold lead, but getting to a lead of that magnitude that it's like, oh my God, they threw the game. Well, at least we got to that lead, right? And no, you don't want to throw the game, but a lot of teams don't even, open up a lead like that. Like, you want to. It's harder to open a lead like that up against a team like Weibo than it is to throw it away. So I'm sure JDG watched VOD review and they're going to fix that issue. Like, this is a team that is too star-studded not to be adults about it. Make sure that doesn't happen again, if you catch my drift. First are T1. They move back up to first. Playing extremely dirty League of Legends. Beat Bro, beat DRX. They beat teams they should beat. They should beat everybody. Yeah, well, actually, that's wrong. They should beat everybody probably but Gen G in their own region, on paper. It just is what it is. I keep bumping this board. But T1 are just so good that they can literally just, screw around and they're still going to win 2-1. Carrier can just pick whatever he wants. It's like G2 on steroids. So, with that in mind, they're first, and they're first with these. So, if you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. I uploaded 3 videos today. I uploaded a patch 13.3 video this morning. Uploaded the roundup if you missed that, going over this morning's series. If you want more insight on what happened between who is 5th and 9th, top and IG, and then 7th and 21st, Weibo and Thunder Talk. Those breakdowns are there. It's only a couple minutes each. And then previewing tomorrow's games, which feature BLG and Anyone's Legend. So 13th and unranked. Anyone's Legend could be ranked like 95th. I'm not sure. They're that bad. And then 10th and 2nd, EDG and JDG. What else is tomorrow? The 2 LCK series are lopsided. LCS, we have Flying Immortals. I think we have 100 Thieves in EG, do we? No, they just played. No, we have them playing tomorrow. Who 100 Thieves and EG did not play. I miswrote things on my board. I knew screwing around with those teams was going to screw it up. It doesn't matter. It's too late now. Fly. EG lost to Fly. 100 Thieves beat somebody else. 100 Thieves might have beaten C9. No, they didn't. They lost to C9 to open the split. See, I'm trying to work through this as I just screwed up talking about the LCS teams because it's that trifecta of nonsense. It is what it is. So, that's whatever. Somebody probably corrected me below, and whatever. I'm owning it now. I screwed up. So, that is what that is. But, like I said, like the video if you like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.